So, welcome to the Madison Ventures podcast. This is episode number 2. And we've got New here, who is a extraordinary video marketing expert and works at, what's your official job title?
So my role is senior social content creator at the Co-op. My role, basically a lot of the social posts you see going out via the Co-op. Just started there. Been an interesting ride even getting there. Definitely seen God working, getting through the door into such a big position like that. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. And it's very interesting to see how I can extrapolate a lot of what I'm learning into ways in which the gospel can go forward through social media.
Cool. So, recently the General Conference, I think it was end of last year, announced this project called One Voice 2027.
Okay.
So they're going to be trying to encourage the world church to coordinate, synergize in sharing the gospel in a specific way in 2027 using internet and social media.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts on that? And how can we make the best use of our cameras for that?
I think it's about time. The church has definitely leaned heavily upon handing out tracts and the publishing ministry, which has done its work and it's done well. But I think sometimes we stumble over the fact that the raw essence of handing out tracts is to convey information. The tracts is just a piece of technology, and we should keep up to times with the technology we're using to convey that information. Because people are on TikTok, people are on Pinterest, YouTube, all sorts of platforms, and it's very hard now to catch people's attention and with a piece of literature. And I also feel it's spoken about in scripture. If you think about it, when Jesus first went looking for his disciples, said, "Come and be fishers of men."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When you go out fishing, you need a hook.
Okay.
You need to reel in people.
Okay.
And even in today's world, in social media, everyone is talking about what's the hook that you're using to catch people.
It's true.
Are you posting on Instagram Reels to reel people in? And if so many other people in the world are using all these hooks and these reels to bring humans, people into their own messaging, we as a church should be at the forefront in. Jesus himself told us, go and make fishers of men. Whatever technology you have, go and bring people to the message of the gospel. So I think in our day and age, we should be taking full advantage and finding ways in which we can get people's attention and also bring their attention to the gospel and Jesus Christ.
Okay, so understanding this, that's been really good background on what we should be doing as a church. What have you been doing in your own sphere of influence in this regard?
The date is 2026. We're in the year 2026. So I've been doing video for now 12 years.
Wow.
I've been in the video industry, making content for different companies, different projects, going from property to dentist to Land Rover, Meta. I was working on VR glasses with Meta, worked with Land Rover, Marks and Spencer. So I've had varying experiences with different projects. And I think the biggest thing for me is understanding the psychology of what works for which company or which product, and how do you use the right tools to convey the right message to the right people. And the reason I harp on a lot about psychology is a lot of the times we just fall to what we've known works. So if something works 10 years ago, okay, we don't have any more creative ideas. We'll just fall back on that. But in my role, it always has to be, okay, we have this product. Who is the end user in mind to use this product? Then we try and understand who that end user is. Okay, what are their pain points? What do they get excited about? What do they do in their spare time? And all of a sudden we can build a profile around that person and understand how we can talk to their pain points, talk to their joys through conveying a message about this product. And
if we truly believe that the gospel is the solution to all of our problems, then understanding that psychology and bringing the gospel, not just having a single message for all types of
Generic
people.
response.
Generic message.
Yeah, you don't want to be like an answer machine.
Yeah. So how do we personalize that message specifically for this, like a single mom with 2 children in?
And that is what Jesus was doing when he said, what story am I thinking of? When, like, for example, the person who was blind and he helped them see by putting mud on their eyes. His objective obviously was for them to appreciate who he was as the Messiah.
Yeah.
But there's a big issue in front of them. They have a big pain point which they can't see.
Exactly.
And if we operate in a manner where we're just oblivious to people's pain points, we don't understand who they are, we don't understand what's the pain point that's stopping them from being able to be free and observe the nature around them, be able to connect with God.
Yeah.
We need to resolve that. That's why even the health message is so important.
100%.
That's why understanding ways in which we can communicate to those things, communicate to those pain points, find the ways in which we can use technology to alleviate people's pains, then all of a sudden you provide a way in which you can also provide a bigger pain point solution, which is the gospel message. So I think 100% we need to, from my experience, I've seen how just understanding the psychology is essential to really hit the right target with the right message. So for me, I've definitely been in a space where I've seen a lot of things work. I've seen how you have videos go viral. I've edited videos which have gone viral. I've edited TikToks which have gone viral, Instagram Reels. And they've been for varying different products and people and brands and all sorts of things. And I think the biggest conviction I've had on my heart, especially leading into this year, is what if the brand that you're pushing is the gospel?
Yeah.
What if the brand is Jesus?
Yeah. What do you think about how we traditionally do evangelistic campaigns, bringing a preacher from somewhere, 2-3 weeks, preaching night after night after night after night, to maybe an empty audience, maybe a full audience? What do you think about that?
I think it was for a period of time. If I was born in the 90s, but I know that in the 80s, there was no iPhone. There was no computer. If you have a computer, you're trying to like drag a heavy duty wire to connect it to even get like 1 megabyte to download.
Yeah.
So we're already in a world, if you move back to the 90s or the 80s or the 70s, where people's attention span, for one, is much bigger.
Yeah.
People are not doom scrolling at home. If you tell people, hey, come out to this event, people are like, hey, I've got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I'm out and about.
True.
If you try and do that now, in general, the general public are doom scrolling or on Netflix or on all of your different social profiles. Even outside of church, people are talking about how it's harder to get people outside of their house. So I think it worked. That was a method which worked for a period of time. I do think it needs to be thought about how do you reconstruct that for a period where people have their attention span in their phones, have their attention span on their TVs. Yes, we may look at it in a negative light, but you have to find where people's attentions are and find a way to put the gospel there. That's how I view it. I don't
be able to change the people to match where we are. You want to go out to them.
Exactly. And I think, like, I was at Impact maybe 10, 12 years ago. And we did a campaign. We leafleted the area. We spoke to people. We got a couple people to come. But you could definitely feel this feels like a drag. Like when you have a good product, and you're confused why people are not responding. Yes, there's also the idea of, are we meeting people's needs first before trying to push the gospel down their throat?
Yeah, and then there's the relational aspects as well.
Yeah, like sometimes it's so transactional where you're wondering, am I being Christ-like by just saying, hey, come to this thing, be baptized, I'll see you later, which you're never going to see them again. Then what's the point? Instead of, hey, I actually want to work on a friendship with you for a lifetime.
Yeah.
And through that process of being a friend with you, you'll see how the gospel has impacted me.
Yeah.
You'll hear it through my conversation. You'll see time and time again, to the point where you'll just be like, I need to be like you. I want to know what you have. And I think that's like a top level thinking. How do you extrapolate that to what we can do in today's age?
Yeah.
So that's definitely what my thought process is about evangelism in today's context.
What's next? What's next for you? But then also broader.
Yeah. So I think for me, I don't want to just talk about it. I can't remember the phrase, but yeah, that's the phrase. I don't just talk the talk. I want to walk the walk. And I think I've been doing that for other people, other brands. Everyone's been going viral, but it's like, wait, Christ said, take the gospel to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And with your iPhone, you can get access to literally the rest of the world. You don't even need a 4K camera. You don't even need 120 frames per second. You just need an iPhone, talk to the camera, and you like post on TikTok tonight, and then all of a sudden you get reached to so many different people.
Yeah.
What's heavy on my heart is definitely to start online page, online ministry where you're creating video content to promote the gospel. It sounds simple, and it is simple, and it should always be kept simple. That the raw fundamentals of what I want to do is people connect to people. People respond to people talking about how Christ has impacted their lives.
Yeah.
On the flip side, there's also people's experiences, it's so impactful. I also feel there's an angle where there's a lot of context and content which people assume everyone knows. So like what I'm talking about, we were listening to a podcast earlier which was talking about the sanctuary message.
Yeah.
And
that's a good point.
Those guys were talking about how, hey, I'm not sure if when I grew up I had sermons about this and they had different aspects on different varying topics.
Yeah.
But I was saying to you, why doesn't the official SDA church have on their website an actual video course which goes through explaining with animation, with clear charts and everything,
Bible text
and references, like a foolproof way of explaining everything, and then being able to have a marketing content campaign.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like, I'm just thinking, we usually have like the It Is Written, Amazing Facts, Bible study guys, but then imagine having that as a YouTube course, a video course, or whatever course, rather than...
Maybe there is, and we're just unaware of it. But the fact that we're unaware of it, means you need a bigger, better marketing campaign to draw people's eyeballs to the fact that you've got that course going on.
Yeah.
And I think that already makes it easier for like the local pastors to be like, hey, check this out, or scan this QR code. I even think QR codes are a time of the past. But finding ways in which you can still connect to people in the realms that they are in, kind of thing. Even if, because people sit down, people watching streamers now, people are watching TikTok lives. Why, like, this is a bit controversial, but the pastor during the week, why you are on TikTok lives about 2, 3, 4, 5 times, talking to random people on TikTok.
Yeah.
And
because that's essentially the modern day equivalent of like the street preacher.
Yeah, because like, you know, when Paul went to the Greek Colosseum, I don't know, but
Areopagus?
The place of conversations from different people.
Oh no, I think there's something else, but
yeah,
we'll get there.
He was conversating with people with different opinions. People are on TikTok lives all the time arguing about whatever, from bikes to, I don't know, how to feed your baby. Why can't your local... Imagine if there was just like one campaign from the top down and it told all the pastors in the UK, hey, I want all of you to be on TikTok lives twice a week. All of a sudden, everyone on TikTok will be like,
who are these Adventists?
You might even hear there's a cult starting. All these men are coming out. But all of a sudden, if that conversation is taking place, that means that impact is being made.
Yeah.
And if everyone is up to scratch in how they deal with people, how they present themselves, how they communicate to people, all of a sudden, you'll see masses of people being like, I've heard about this SDA church, or I saw this pastor and he was talking about this or that.
Yeah.
And people be able to put in their questions. All of a sudden, you have so much more context, and even the pastor can be like, hey, I'm here in, I don't know, Yardley every Saturday morning. If you want to come and have a conversation, check in with me at 12 o'clock.
That's good. Yeah.
All of a sudden, that just simple,
Yeah.
no fancy edits, no nothing. You don't have to know how to edit the video. Just log into
Live,
TikTok Live,
yeah.
have an SDA logo, talk to the camera. Random people from all over the world will be talking to you. That's just one simple method. The streaming, there's all sorts of stuff. And I think what I find impressive is a lot of Sunday churches in America, they hire the youth or they get the youth who know how to use social media, heavily involved during the week, creating content. They understand what's working and what's getting traction with people. There should be a serious package which is downloaded to each pastor as they go out. Hey, we need you on TikTok. We need you get a social media intern.
Yeah.
There needs to be structure around how to get the gospel out.
Yeah. I don't know how to phrase this. Having that will be effective, but do you think that there are pockets of places that are doing it well, but we're not communicating with each other and like spreading the good practice?
Hence why I said I feel it needs to come from top down. Like if the president was, or I don't even know what the structure is. There was a very quite strict communication. Hey guys, we're trying to do evangelism. This is what's currently working. Can you guys at least just get on once a week?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have conversations.
Or even like funding that would be directed in that direction so that you can get the pastor doing this rather than, or not even rather than, but like spreading funding between digital evangelism and the traditional forms of.
Yeah. I drove past one of our churches recently. I was driving past during the week and it was empty, it looked cold, closed. But then we've just gone to a hiking club, which is a group of men, not even Christian. We've just gone out every 2-3 months. We go out. Running clubs are all the rave right now.
Yeah, it's true.
Paddle is all the rave right now.
So people actually do want to get out. Yes. People want to socialize, and there's a disconnect.
And then why can't the church building be open? And obviously I don't know the politics or the dynamics or whatever, but from my very like basic viewpoint, why can't the church building be open and you have a cafe running, you have a run club, and you say, hey, just the same way uni students are starting run clubs and they get 50 people coming every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Why can't you have that? And it doesn't even need to be connected to a gospel message. Just people know that every Tuesday at this place, at this venue, there's a run club. All of a sudden, people are connecting with you, the pastor,
building relationships. Yeah.
On a Thursday, there's a social media night where you can bring so many different people where it's like, hey, learn how to use a camera. You teach people in your community, your church, how to use a camera, how to upload to Instagram. Little things like that where you're actually solving people's needs. I saw there's this on the news the other day, there was a business man and he's set up in his restaurant every Thursday night where he teaches the community how to cook with whole foods. Because that's a whole issue where the quality of food which people have in the UK is not great. There's a lot of UPFs, ultra processed foods. And he's taken it upon himself to be like, oh wait, a lot of people don't actually know how to cook whole foods. That's my expertise. So he brings people in free of charge. He has all the ingredients there. They cook, they eat, they learn. That is an easy win to do at church.
That's like, such an Adventist thing to do as well.
Yeah, it's such an Adventist thing. But sometimes I think the problem is pitching it in an Adventist way.
Yeah.
It like, you don't need to smack people with the great controversy as they get into the door. Sometimes it's just coming to the cooking event week in, week out for like 10 weeks. And then they're like, oh, what else do you do?
Or you're just building relationships with the people.
They're good friends with you. They get to know what you're doing. Oh, what you're doing in the weekend. We're actually here again on Sabbath because this is what we do. Oh, we got a run club if you're interested in that. You just need to continually build touch points with people.
Touch points.
They say in marketing, people don't connect with something until they've seen it 7 times. So in the same manner, find a way to get people to connect with the church building or you yourself, what you stand for, 7 different ways.
So I'm starting to realize the importance of these personal relationships, just building.
I think that's the base function of evangelism.
Yeah.
Because if you see evangelism as ticking a
Information
box,
transaction, just you take
Yeah.
that.
I don't want to. I don't want
yeah.
to know about you for the rest of my life, but take this so that I can get some points, so I can go to the nice place upstairs. That feels very weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if
and it comes across to the other person as weird,
and people can see it.
Yeah.
So I think we need to realize that the essence of who we are as Christians, the essence of getting the gospel message out there, is befriending people. Is genuinely, even at church sometimes. Oh, mate, you take me down a wormhole. Even you look at a lot of churches who have a very modern vibe to them. They have people on the door who are trained in being welcoming and greeting.
Yeah, friendly.
I don't see that at all happening in our church. You see people look back at you if you come in late. But why can't you have people who are intentional about finding out your name? Welcome to the church. Even if you're here while the sermon's about to finish, hey, and there's a procedure. Hey, we'd love to have you come again.
Yeah, continue to
come to talk to this person, because then we're having a group later on where we can continue to talk about what we preached about.
Yeah.
Hey, we have food
Care
here.
Groups.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of ways in which the whole infrastructure can be boosted. And like, obviously from my perspective, I'm thinking about video, but I think outside of that, the raw essence of it is building relationships. Is that through an in-person event, run a club, or is that through being on TikTok live, or is that through just talking to people who are known in the community? Pastor Philpott, he used to talk about how he would go door to door, finding out people's needs in the community. But that was his thing during the week. And it made me think, wait, if you are actually just going out as a helper, you know how to fix people's roots. You know how to, it's to so many people, even in this community where they haven't been out for so long, they need someone to fix their roof. Oh, do you want a cuppa? Before you know it, if you have those skills and you have that way of being about yourself, it's all about building relationships.
100%.
So
100%.
that's the essence of everything.
Evangelism of marketing. Yeah.
So, and it's building relationships, because Nike build a relationship with you where you're like, I need to just do it. I need to connect with that motto. You wake up, you want to be Michael Jordan, or you want to be, it's the relationship you're building within something you don't know, kind of thing. So why can't you be a person somebody can actually know and to build a relationship with you and take on your motto and message?
Yes. So
I just brain dumped on you.
Yeah. No, that was good.
And I think swinging it back to Madison Ventures, I think that's also just providing a way in which people can like understand this structure and implement it themselves. Very simple way. Like, once you finish watching this video, you don't have to be a pastor. You can literally download TikTok Live, go on it, and talk about what you learned in Sabbath school this past week. And then answer people's questions. If you don't know how to answer it, tell people, hey, I don't know. Go and find out. Talk to your local pastor. Even if you have to get your local pastor to come and sit on the TikTok Live and answer the question, all of a sudden you're finding ways of producing more pieces of content, and you're answering people's questions.
So there's actionable stuff that people can do,
and
share the gospel with.
And it doesn't need to be like a big operation. Just go on TikTok Live and talk to people. Start streaming on Twitch. I don't know.
It's good. That's good. Cool.
I want the lighting to be good, but sometimes just go on the camera and get going. Yeah, my point being, low barrier to entry. Just start doing something.
Yeah.
And it's
I think the other thing is then building relationships, that you don't have to be in video, you don't have to be online necessarily, but you can build relationships with other people. You can make people aware, not by being super preachy, but just make people aware that Jesus lives in you and that you want to be a friend to them.
And at that point, our camera died. But I think we were at the end though. Thanks for listening to our second episode. We've got lots more planned, so please do subscribe and let us know that you're there. And we'll let you know when the next one arrives. Also, if you like it, please hit that thumbs up button. It will really help us as we try to grow something that will be valuable to Adventist professionals, creatives, and entrepreneurs everywhere. See you next time.